My sophomore year in 1991-92, life was good. I knew people in school and people knew me. I was easy to spot because my dreads were getting longer, and I had red, yellow, green, blue, and orange rubber bands around some of them. I walked the halls of Brooklyn Tech as a black freak with a rainbow on my head and silver shades for eyes. It didn't matter. I was going to be free. A lot of kids at Tech got lost in the hallways. I didn't mind the odds because I was used to not noticing people. However, when this new self I was creating started to get looks, I noted it with pride. From people's reactions, I started to realize I was becoming my favorite stock character from every 1980s teen film I had seen since my first days in America. I was becoming the male freak. Every Savage Steve Holland film I liked had a middle-class white guy struggling to either 1. Get the girl, 2. Beat the jock, or 3. Find himself. Movies like One Crazy Summer, Better Off Dead, or How I Got Into College were, to me, classics in adolescent coming of age. For me, the freak espoused an American individualism I rarely saw exhibited in young black men, especially those from the inner city. Where I was balled up, the freak was unbounded, and the world allowed him to be that way. By sophomore year, I wanted that freedom. It seemed as if life was demanding it. I had been left alone my whole life to stew and stir and sit and wait. Now, I wanted to sip, to drink up, to get my belly full of this stuff of life. My movie heroes threw a blow to my black identity. For as much as I relished their freedom, it bothered me that they were white, middle class, and living in suburbia, whereas I was black, poor, and slumming in Brooklyn. I wanted to be the all-American boy, wholeheartedly, but on my own terms. I wanted to be free of spirit, but grounded to a black political consciousness. At the time, those two ideals didn't seem to mesh. Throughout high school, my blackness would remain my deepest, darkest fear. Like my relationship with my mother, I didn't confront it with the energy I should have. Both my mother and my identity as a black man were blatantly obvious and begged to be engaged with, but my will was weak. That, and I started noticing other things. Women.
Girls every day. From London, Canada, and the USA. Girls every day. Crown Shabba, King as the them DJ. Never chill alone, that girl alone, a walk. Come on, need a customer, piece of the.
You see, there was this Chinese girl who sat across from me in Miss Sigalakis' history class. She was timid, demure, not a blemish on her pale face. Her name was, I believe, Elizabeth. I kind of fell for her. Every day I'd walk into class and flirt.
You know, I think she started to like you.
My ego would boast. But they don't date black, said Nelson, the Korean boy at my lunch table. And why would you want a girl with a flat ass, my friend Nigel came back with. And did you guys see what Nadine was wearing today? This Nadine, she was the black woman at Brooklyn Tech. A cheerleader, Black Awareness Club member, fine as hell and brilliant. She sat next to Elizabeth in our history class. I didn't know who to concentrate on. Some days, Nadine made the decision for me. When she'd wear her short cheerleader skirt, I'd swear my eyes were seeing the glory and the coming of heaven. I don't like her butt, I told my friend Nigel. You don't like what? He yelled. Heads were turning at the lunchroom table. Are you bugging? I mean, it's like it sticks out, you know? Nigel laughed. But now the other guys at the table were tuned in to our conversation. Hell yeah, it's sticking out because she's ready. I don't think she's like that, I said, trying to defend this wholesome image of Nadine I carried around with me. I know that, but it's a sweet black ass. That's a black woman right there. Ain't that right, Nelson? What? Nelson replied, chomping down on a burger. Nadine's ass, Nigel repeated. Who? Nadine the cheerleader? Yes, I said. Oh, yeah, her ass is damn fine. See, Nigel said, everybody wants that, even him. He pointed to Nelson. And he's Chinese, so you know he don't know shit about ass. After the rest of the table started laughing, Nelson had no choice but to start laughing too.
Tennessee,
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 Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Lord, I've really been real.
My life at the time was a forward march towards what Bob Marley would call Zion, towards heaven, towards something better for a righteous man. I remember when Arrested Development came out with the song Tennessee. I hadn't heard it on the radio yet, when at lunch, Carlson, this guy I met in PE class, and Anthony Amalfitano, this white guy from Bensonhurst, they both asked if I'd heard this new song on the radio. It sounds like something you'd listen to, Carlson said. What do you mean? It's kind of weird, like you. I remember that day because Carlson brought his Walkman and was listening to Scenario by Leaders of the New School. He and the Korean kid Nelson began singing along, and Anthony soon jumped in. Carlson and I both looked at each other, and then at Anthony as if to say, "The white boy knows this? Yeah, Anthony, go Anthony, go Anthony." "I'm down," Anthony mocked, and we all laughed. "You know what? That's a damn shame," Carlson began, eyeing me with mock disgust. "He knows this song, and I bet you don't even know this song around here." I was trying to learn the song, but I could only memorize a few phrases here and there. Lyrical from the mind. Powerful impact, boom. When coming into my... Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. "Do you even like hip-hop around there?" "Of course," I answered, knowing my blackness was being questioned. I think Scenario is one of the best songs out there. That and that Grand Poobah song, what goes around comes back around again. That's 360, Anthony said. "Yeah, that's it. The style is jazzy and melodic. It's amazing how they edit those beats. It's fascinating." "Does that mean that you like it?" Carson asked again. "Yes," I replied. "I like it a lot."
Head for the border, go get a taco. I direct it from the jump street, meaning from the get-go. Sit back, relax, and let yourself go. Don't sweat what you heard, but act like you know.
One night, I was alone in my room, and for no apparent reason, I just broke down. Tears began to flow.
You look like a fucking sissy.
My voice reacted in the tone I had conditioned him to use at times when my emotions ran havoc on me. "I don't know what's going on, man. I don't know what's going on." "You know
Exactly what's happening. I didn't raise no idiot.
"Then what is it?" I asked over sobs and sniffles. "It's hell out there." But why don't I hear other people talking about these realizations? I feel like the only one having to deal with all that's coming at me about school and women and men and politics and history and life, and not fully appreciating anything or anybody or knowing what the fuck I feel half the time. I couldn't hold it in anymore.
You're not the only one,
My voice offered.
You may be different because you see things different. Most of your friends are doing what they should be doing at this age. They're living life without question. They're on the inside. You still like to stand on the outside thinking around it. You can see more of the picture, but then what?
I can't do a fucking thing about it.
Yes, you can. You just choose not to. The only thing wrong with you is that you're treating the world like it's a classroom. And the world ain't a classroom. There's no textbook for life, no chapters to review then act on, no drafts to revise and edit. You don't learn to live life, Arande. You live to learn life. And when are you going to see that, man?
Well, how else am I supposed to look at it?
I don't know.
Tell me what's on the inside. I want to know. I want to know where you come from.
Arande, you want to stay on the outside. The truth is, you don't want to know that it's a jungle where I come from. There, I said it, people make life rational when it ain't. And even then, they screw up. People know right, yet they do wrong. Some want more money, more power, more than they need. Some kill, some create, some kill and create at the same time. The world ain't a classroom, son. Life is what it is, and it's frightening.
Why didn't you tell me this before? You seem to know everything.
Rondé, I can't learn you right.
Sometimes I feel like fucking ending all this. Cut my losses and say goodbye, you know? The good die young, right?
There's a reason behind all of this.
My voice assured me. What makes you so damn sure?
I'm here to help you. Yes, I challenge you sometimes, but I promise it's all for the better. You got 2 younger brothers looking up to you, and even though you don't show it, I know you love your mother. You can't hide that from me. You used to push her to the side, to the back of your mind, but I kept her there for you, and she didn't fall out. You're a decent kid. You haven't killed anybody behind my back, have you? No.
No, I said. My eyes were welling up again, and all the years spent in exile instead of helping my family grow together. Wasn't I the big brother?
Then start acting.
Check. Okay. What more could I say? Alamo, get the boom and parlay. I'm far from the average. Civilized a savage when I'm low in protein and with the beans, soup and cabbage. Skins on the diet, kick the flavor, cause it right. Do a show and get the dough, and then I'm off to the height. Sometime we on the spliff.